9 undeniable signs a loyal woman secretly likes you. Psychology tricks. Sometimes love doesn't speak. It's felt in a look, a pause, or the silence between two hearts. Unknown. Welcome to Stoicism Win. Today, we're uncovering something many men miss, the silent signals that a loyal woman truly likes you. Women rarely say it outright. Instead, they show it in the way she leans in when you talk, lightly touches your arm, or holds your gaze a few seconds longer than usual. These moments aren't random. They're her quiet way of saying, I feel something for you. Peter Drucker once said, the most important thing in communication is hearing what isn't said. That's the secret here, reading emotion in gestures, tone, and energy, not just words. Don't rush or overthink it. Stay calm, centered, and grounded. Stoic wisdom reminds us true confidence isn't about chasing, it's about noticing what's already there. When you recognize these signs, respond with warmth, not pressure. Let the connection grow naturally. Real attraction thrives in patience and presence, not in words, but in the moments that don't need them. Because sometimes, the strongest signal of love is silence. 1. Share a warm smile. Picture this. She glances at you, her lips curve into a soft, genuine smile, and her head tilts just slightly to the side. Seems simple, doesn't it? But don't be fooled. That tiny movement carries the weight of female psychology itself. That tilt isn't random. It's instinct, comfort, curiosity, all rolled into one elegant motion. She's silently saying, I feel safe with you. And trust me, when a woman feels safe, the real magic begins. Psychology tricks reveal that when she exposes her neck, one of the body's most vulnerable zones, it's not just posture, it's permission. It's the quiet, primal sign that she's lowering her guard, unconsciously inviting closeness. That's not small talk, that's human chemistry in motion. Now, pay attention. This isn't the stiff, polite smile you get at a checkout line. This one lights up her whole face, the kind that dances in her eyes. That's the smile that says, I'm genuinely glad you're here. When it comes with that gentle head tilt, the message is loud and clear. She's drawn to you. You must notice it. You mustn't overthink it. That's female psychology whispering louder than words ever could. This is where the chameleon effect kicks in, when two people subtly mirror each other's gestures without realizing it. Maybe you'll find yourself tilting your head too, your body responding before your mind catches up. That's connection at work, the invisible thread between attraction and acknowledgement. Don't ignore how powerful that exchange is. According to psychology tricks, that smile sets off a chain reaction, a contagion effect. Her relaxed posture, her open gaze, her easy laugh, they don't just charm you, they calm you. Your body picks up her signals, your heartbeat sinks, and before you know it, you're matching her energy. This isn't coincidence. It's chemistry, the kind you can feel in your chest more than you can explain. When she locks eyes and holds that gaze a heartbeat longer than normal, that's not hesitation. That's invitation. That's her body saying, I see you. I want you to see me too. Science agrees. Just 3 seconds of eye contact, that's all it takes to ignite a spark. Oxytocin floods the system, the same hormone that bonds lovers, parents, and lifelong friends. Don't underestimate it. That's not just a stare. That's a doorway to something real. Maybe it's happened to you, a coffee shop, a crowded bar, or a random Tuesday morning. You look up, and there she is, smiling, tilting her head, eyes locked just long enough to make your heart skip. Suddenly, she's not just another face in the room. She's the face. And in that instant, every psychology trick you've ever read about how to fall in love suddenly makes sense. That's why you must not dismiss those quiet, wordless moments. Attraction rarely screams, it whispers. It hides in the tilt of a chin, the softness of a laugh, the way her eyes linger just long enough to make you wonder, is she thinking what I'm thinking? Don't let the moment slip. Smile back. Meet her eyes. Lean in just a bit. That's how connection begins, not with grand gestures, but with the courage to respond when she shows you the first sign. Remember, how to fall in love often starts with something as simple as a smile. As Dale Carnegie said, a smile is a curve that sets everything straight. In this case, it might just be the curve that changes everything, a small gesture that opens the door to a bond built on trust, attraction, and the timeless rhythm of female psychology itself. 2. Emotional space. Picture this. You're sitting in a quiet cafe, the scent of coffee swirling through the air, and though there's plenty of space all around, she subtly slides her chair just a little closer. Or maybe you're waiting in line somewhere, a grocery store, a ticket booth, and instead of keeping that polite stranger's distance, she steps into your orbit, just near enough that you can feel her energy. It's not an accident. It's not clumsiness. It's a quiet test, a way of seeing if your presence feels safe, if your masculine energy is grounded enough to let her relax. That's female intuition at work, the kind that senses before it speaks. Don't ignore it. Don't back away. Be present, be aware, because this is how attraction begins to breathe. When she leans in as you speak, it's not just to catch your words, it's to catch your essence. That subtle forward tilt, that soft focus in her eyes, it's her subconscious saying, I'm tuned into you. You must understand, proximity is never just physical. It's emotional. When she moves closer, even by inches, it's an unspoken invitation into her private world. It's her way of saying, I trust you enough to let my guard down. That's powerful. That's rare. That's something a high-value man knows to recognize, not by rushing it, but by matching it. Mirror her body language. Reflect her rhythm. When she leans in, lean in slightly. When she laughs softly, meet it with warmth. That's not game playing, that's connection alignment. Psychologists call this proxemics, the study of how space reveals emotion. We all keep invisible circles around us, and those circles shrink only for people we trust. 18 inches, that's the magic number. That's the zone we reserve for the people who matter. So when a woman steps into that sacred radius, it's never random. It's instinctive, it's emotional, it's meaningful. That's her saying, you make me feel safe. And safety, for a woman, is the gateway to attraction. That's where masculine energy shines, not in loud words or forced confidence, but in calm assurance. Don't mistake her closeness for coincidence. It's a silent yes, a subtle green light that says, I'm open to seeing where this goes. And then comes the touch, that feather-light brush of her hand on your arm, the playful tap on your shoulder, or maybe her fingers grazing yours when she hands you something. Tiny, right? But that's no accident either. Those small touches are her way of testing the current between you. She's measuring your response. Will you flinch away? Or will you stay still, grounded, comfortable in your skin? Remember, a high-value man doesn't get startled by closeness. He welcomes it. He holds his frame. That's masculine energy, the calm strength that attracts women without trying. Albert Moravian once said, the way we communicate with others and ourselves ultimately determines the quality of our lives. That quote hits harder when you realize how much of communication isn't spoken at all. It's felt. It's lived. It's in the silence between two people leaning just a bit too close for strangers. You must be attentive. Be aware of her cues, the lean, the glance, the playful nudge. These are her emotional breadcrumbs leading toward connection. Don't ignore them. Follow them, but do it with presence, not pressure. When she moves closer, understand what's truly happening. She's not just shortening the physical space, she's bridging the emotional distance. That's how two hearts start syncing, not through dramatic gestures, but through simple, shared nearness. This is how attract women energy really works. It's not loud or desperate. It's steady, subtle, magnetic. The kind that says, I see you and I'm here. When you mirror her openness, when you quietly accept her invitation into that personal space, you create a silent agreement of trust. And in that space, in that delicate overlap of warmth and awareness, connection begins to grow roots. So, next time you find yourself in that moment, when she steps just a little closer, when her hand lingers a heartbeat longer than necessary, don't rush, don't retreat. Hold your ground. Smile. Let your energy speak for you. That's how you attract women, not by chasing, but by being still enough for them to come closer on their own. That's the secret of the high-value man. He doesn't demand attention. He earns it through calm presence and consistent strength. Remember, emotional space isn't about territory, it's about invitation. And when she crosses that invisible line, she's telling you one simple truth: she's ready for something real. 3. The power of mirroring. When a loyal woman secretly likes you, she doesn't always say it. She shows it through rhythm, energy, and subtle synchronization. Watch closely. When you lean in, she leans in. When you laugh, her smile echoes yours. When you cross your arms moments later, she does the same. That's not coincidence. That's connection. Psychologists call it the chameleon effect, but ancient thinkers would call it something deeper: harmony of spirit. It's the old Stoic wisdom at work. Energy follows attention, and where there is alignment, there is trust. Don't overlook it. Don't dismiss it. You must understand that mirroring isn't mimicry, it's emotional resonance. It's the body's way of saying, I'm with you. This is how attraction whispers before it ever dares to speak. Neuroscience tells us that our mirror neurons, those hidden messengers in the brain, light up when we see someone we're drawn to. That spark triggers us to unconsciously copy their movements, tone, and rhythm. When a woman mirrors you, her body is sending an ancient message: I trust you enough to reflect you. It's primal, it's biological, it's human. And in a world that thrives on screens, distractions, and noise, that quiet act of physical synchronization becomes sacred. It's proof that real connection still exists. You must be alert to it. Be intentional. Because every time she matches your energy, she's testing whether your iron mind can hold that connection without breaking it. She's not drawn to chaos, she's drawn to calm. That's what Stoicism win looks like in modern love: strength without arrogance, confidence without control. Think of it as a dance, one that doesn't need music. Her gestures, her tone, even the way she breathes, begin to move in time with yours. That's trust in motion. It's the same principle that bonds mother and child, mentor and student, lover and companion. It's ancient and yet timeless. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When you project calm certainty, she absorbs that energy and mirrors it back. When you exude frustration or insecurity, she senses it too and distances herself. You must lead with steadiness. You must embody presence. That's old Stoic wisdom brought to life. Control your inner world, and the outer one aligns naturally. Mirroring isn't manipulation, it's a reflection of mutual understanding. It's how two people silently agree, I see you. It's how attraction becomes attachment. A woman who feels safe enough to mirror your body language is revealing emotional intimacy without a single word. And that's rare in a world where most people hide behind guarded expressions and defensive posture. Don't miss it. Don't let your ego blind you. Be aware of her rhythm. If she tilts her head when you do, softens her voice when you soften yours, or raises her energy when you come alive, that's not imitation. That's emotional synchronization. That's how trust is built, one mirrored heartbeat at a time. Theodore Roosevelt once said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Mirroring is her version of that truth. It's her way of showing she values connection over competition. And your role, as a man grounded in Stoicism win principles, is to meet that energy with strength, not pride. Don't overpower it. Don't analyze it to death. Simply be there. Be the steady force she can align with. That's the mark of an iron mind, the ability to stay centered while connection unfolds naturally. In today's world of fleeting attention spans and shallow gestures, this kind of deep, instinctive resonance is rare. So when it happens, when she mirrors your gestures, matches your tone, breathes in your rhythm, recognize it for what it is: an unspoken bond forming beneath the surface. That's the art of attraction, grounded not in tricks, but in awareness. Let it remind you that real power isn't loud, it's steady. Real confidence isn't performed, it's embodied. So lead with composure. Command your energy. Let your calm become contagious. Because in that moment, you're not just communicating, you're connecting on a level beyond words. And that, gentleman, is how a loyal woman tells you she feels safe with you. That's how old Stoic wisdom still wins in the modern world. That's how a man with an iron mind conquers not through force, but through quiet mastery of self. If you found this insight powerful, give this video a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more psychology-based wisdom. Let's grow together in understanding human connection. Comment to remember. I attract genuine connections through calm confidence. 4. The spark of touch. Sometimes the smallest touch says what words never could. Picture this. She's talking, smiling, and as she laughs, her hand gently brushes your arm, light, effortless, but it lingers just long enough to send a spark running through you. Maybe she places her hand on your shoulder while telling a story, or your fingers graze when she hands you a drink, and suddenly the air shifts. That's not coincidence. That's female psychology in motion, working quietly, elegantly, to create connection. Don't underestimate it. Don't ignore it. You must understand that touch is a language, one of the oldest, most instinctive forms of communication. It's not just contact, it's chemistry. It's emotion turned physical. And when a woman reaches out to touch you, however casually, she's revealing comfort, curiosity, and the possibility of something more. Science calls it the oxytocin effect, the release of the bonding hormone that deepens trust and attraction. Psychology tricks prove that even the lightest brush of skin can shift how two people relate, opening emotional doors without a single word spoken. When she leans close and her hand grazes your sleeve, it's her subconscious saying, "I feel safe here." It's her testing the rhythm between you, seeing if you'll meet her halfway, if you'll respond with the same warmth she's offering. Female psychology teaches us that touch isn't random. It's rhythmic, it's deliberate, and it's deeply tied to emotional presence. When she touches you, she's not just reaching for your hand, she's reaching for connection. You've felt it before, haven't you? That instant awareness when her fingers linger just a second too long. Your senses heighten, the world feels sharper, and suddenly, you're both existing in that sliver of space between casual and intimate. That's not illusion, that's energy. That's what How to Fall in Love really feels like in its earliest form. Two people discovering a shared current without even realizing it. Every small gesture, a nudge during laughter, a playful tap on your arm, carries meaning. Those moments build familiarity, trust, and subtle desire. They whisper, "I enjoy being near you," long before the heart ever says it out loud. But touch isn't just about attraction. It's about reassurance. When you guide her gently through a crowd, your hand resting lightly on her back, you're not just being polite, you're establishing calm authority, presence, and care. And when she responds, leaning closer, smiling, or returning that touch, she's confirming that she feels safe in your energy. That's where connection thrives. Remember this truth: psychology tricks don't work unless they're built on sincerity. A real man doesn't use touch to impress, he uses it to connect. As Tony Robbins said, the only limit to your impact is your imagination and commitment. The same applies here. The impact of your presence is defined by how intentional you are in every gesture. In this digital age of texts and emojis, physical touch has become rare, almost revolutionary. Most people hide behind screens, forgetting that true chemistry lives in the real world. That's why when she reaches out, when she bridges that invisible distance, it matters. She's not just touching your arm, she's touching your energy, testing your authenticity. You must meet her with confidence, not arrogance, not hesitation, but grounded awareness. If you pull away too quickly, you might break the rhythm. If you freeze, you lose the moment. So be steady. Be present. Let her feel that you can handle closeness with ease. That's how female psychology rewards strength, not through control, but through connection. Touch is the bridge between hearts, a silent signal of interest, trust, and emotional alignment. Every time she playfully bumps your shoulder, every time her fingers rest a little longer than they should, she's saying, "I'm here. I want to know you." And you? You must have the courage to recognize it, to respond with openness. Don't overthink it. Don't shy away. These moments, these sparks, are the real beginnings of how to fall in love. They're not accidents, they're opportunities. So lean into them. Let every subtle brush, every shared smile, every spark of contact guide you towards something genuine, something that grows beyond words. Because in the end, touch isn't just physical, it's emotional poetry written skin to skin. And when you understand that, you'll stop chasing connection and start feeling it, one spark, one touch, one heartbeat at a time. 5. The power of lingering moments. When a woman truly enjoys your presence, she doesn't rush to leave. She lingers. She stays. She looks for reasons to keep the moment alive. Maybe she laughs a little longer at your joke. Maybe she keeps her gaze steady when the conversation should have ended. Or maybe she just hovers nearby, not ready to walk away. Don't mistake that for indecision. That is interest. That is connection. And that is one of the most powerful signs hidden within Old Stoic wisdom. When something or someone truly matters, the mind resists separation. You must understand this truth. When she lingers, she's not just killing time. She's choosing you. She's saying without words, I feel good here. That's the moment where attraction quietly turns into possibility. Modern life moves fast, too fast. Everyone's distracted, glued to screens, running from one obligation to the next. So when someone actually stays, when she slows down the rhythm of her day just to stand in your presence, that's no small thing. That's connection in its rawest form. It's rare. It's valuable. Don't take it lightly. Don't let your attention wander. This is where you prove your presence. Be still. Be grounded. Show her the calm strength of an iron mind. In a world full of noise, calmness becomes magnetic. As Marcus Aurelius once said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you master your energy, people, especially women, feel it. They sense your steadiness, and it draws them in. That's Stoicism win in real time. Her lingering is not hesitation, it's engagement. She's extending the invisible bridge of connection, hoping you'll meet her halfway. Don't overthink it. Don't rush to fill the silence. Let the space breathe. Then guide it with confidence. Ask her something real but light, not an interview, not small talk, but curiosity born from presence. You mentioned you love to travel. What's been your favorite destination so far? That simple question opens her world, and suddenly, the moment deepens. Conversation becomes experience. Connection becomes memory. And memory becomes attraction. This is how modern relationships are built, not through grand gestures, but through small moments that linger because they feel right. Albert Morabian once said that 93% of communication is nonverbal. That means her actions, her body angle, her tone, the way she keeps looking back, speak louder than anything she says. Pay attention. If she faces you fully, maintains eye contact, and smiles softly, that's not politeness, that's investment. She's there because she wants to be there. On the other hand, if she's checking her phone or scanning the room, let her go. Don't chase. Remember the old Stoic wisdom. You control only your response, not her behavior. Your task is not to convince, but to observe. A man with an iron mind reads the world as it is, not as he wishes it to be. That is power. That is mastery. When she lingers, your mission is simple: create safety. Make her feel seen. Listen, truly listen. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. Notice her tone, her pauses, her subtle shifts in posture. That's how you turn ordinary conversation into emotional connection. Neuroscience tells us that empathy and attention trigger oxytocin, the bonding hormone that builds trust. You don't need to force it. You just need to be present enough to allow it. This is where Stoicism win shows its true strength, the ability to stay calm, confident, and patient while connection grows naturally. Don't be in a hurry. Don't chase validation. When she stays longer than she has to, it's already a victory. It's proof that your presence carries weight. That's what a man with an iron mind understands, that connection isn't about control, it's about composure. The moment she chooses to linger is a quiet reward for your steadiness. It's her way of saying, I want to be near your energy. So don't ruin it with impatience or overconfidence. Let the silence do its work. Let her feel your calm. That is how real attraction is built, slowly, intentionally, and powerfully. As Seneca wrote, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. That moment she lingers, that's your opportunity. You must be prepared mentally, emotionally, energetically. Because when she stays, she's not just standing there, she's testing your energy, your focus, your composure. Pass that test, and you've already won. That's the quiet triumph of old Stoic wisdom. That's Stoicism win in the language of love. That's what it means to have an iron mind, steady, aware, and always ready for connection that's real. So next time she lingers, don't just see it as a pause. See it as an opening. Stand tall, smile, be present, and let her feel that she's standing next to a man who doesn't chase moments, he commands them. 6. Vulnerability and connection. Have you ever noticed a woman absent-mindedly touching her neck or adjusting her jewelry during a conversation? At first glance, it looks like nothing more than a habit, a flick of the fingers, a light brush against her collarbone. But if you pay attention, you'll see the psychology behind it. These aren't random movements. They're small, graceful sparks of emotion, quiet signs of attraction and vulnerability. When she lightly grazes her collarbone or fiddles with a necklace, she's not just killing time. She's revealing something that words often fail to say. I'm drawn to you, but I feel a bit nervous too. That single gesture, exposing or drawing attention to the neck, carries weight. The neck is one of the body's most delicate and defenseless areas. To highlight it, even subconsciously, is a powerful act of trust. It's the body's way of whispering, "You feel safe to me." This, my friend, is not just body language, it's the poetry of attraction, the silent dance of emotion. You see, when a woman adjusts her clothes or jewelry in your presence, it's rarely about comfort. She's fine-tuning her appearance, not for vanity, but for you. It's instinct. A quiet way of saying, I want you to notice me. Attraction makes people strive to present their best selves. It's not calculated. It's automatic, primal, beautifully human. Don't dismiss these moments as trivial. They're the opening notes of a melody that only those who listen carefully can hear. A high-value man doesn't overlook such signs. He observes, interprets, and moves with grace. How you should respond. Now, here's where your masculine energy comes in. When you see her lean forward, don't freeze. Mirror her. Subtly. Naturally. If she touches her necklace, compliment it. A simple, sincere line like, "That's a beautiful necklace, it really suits you," can light her up inside. Why? Because you've just acknowledged her effort, her vulnerability, without breaking the spell. That's what a confident man does. He responds with calm strength, not nervous chatter. Don't overthink it. Be present. Be composed. Remember, attraction is a dialogue, not of words, but of gestures and energy. Your role is to tune in, not to dominate. That is the art of connection, the psychology beneath the surface. Here's the truth. These gestures aren't random. They're rooted in evolutionary psychology. Women often emphasize or expose vulnerable areas, the neck, the wrists, the collarbone, as a signal of trust and openness toward someone they find appealing. It's not manipulation, it's nature's choreography. When a woman feels emotionally safe around a man who radiates authentic masculine energy, her body relaxes. Her gestures soften. Her eyes linger. She's no longer guarded, she's receptive. This moment, subtle as it may seem, marks the beginning of emotional intimacy. And if you want to attract women on a deeper level, you must learn to honor that. Don't rush it. Don't question it. Just appreciate it for what it is, a bridge between her vulnerability and your confidence. The unspoken bond. Every great connection starts in silence, in the spaces between words, in the rhythm of glances, in the movements that seem too small to matter. But they do matter. They are the foundation of chemistry, the hidden pulse of desire. When she adjusts her outfit, she's not being vain. She's revealing that your perception matters to her. When she touches her neck, she's not restless. She's revealing trust. And when you notice, with calm curiosity and masculine warmth, you create a space where attraction can breathe. This is how a high-value man moves through the world, observant, grounded, confident. He doesn't chase validation. He inspires it. He doesn't react with anxiety. He responds with presence. Final thought. In the dance of attraction, vulnerability is the music. It's the quiet, human truth that links two souls long before the first kiss. Learn to see it. Learn to feel it. When you do, you'll stop guessing whether she likes you, you'll know. Because in that subtle touch, that gentle fidget, that nervous smile, she's already telling you, you have my attention. That is the language of connection. That is the secret psychology of attraction. And that is the power of a man who truly understands women. If you've learned to see the quiet signals that words can't express, you're already ahead of most. Awareness is power. It turns confusion into clarity and hesitation into confidence. Please comment below, I see the silent signs. 7. The art of subtle flirting. Flirting, when done right, isn't a loud performance. It's an elegant whisper of emotion. It's not about fireworks. It's about sparks so soft you almost miss them if you're not paying attention. A loyal woman who secretly likes you won't always announce it. Her body language will. Watch closely. The psychology tricks behind female behavior often reveal more than words ever could. When she gently plays with her hair while holding your gaze, don't dismiss it as a random tick. That's female psychology at work, a quiet mix of curiosity and self-soothing wrapped in subtle seduction. It's her subconscious saying, I like you, while her conscious mind whispers, let's see if you notice. That's how to fall in love the natural way, not through manipulation or games, but through awareness of those small, sincere gestures that carry emotional weight. Be alert. Don't assume every glance or touch means devotion, but don't ignore the ones that linger either. That's where the truth hides, between confidence and vulnerability. When she meets your eyes, smiles softly, or leans closer without realizing it, she's inviting connection without uttering a word. This is no coincidence. It's emotional intelligence in motion. These psychology tricks are like a dance, one step forward, one pause, waiting for your reply. She's not playing games. She's reading your energy, testing your warmth, and deciding whether you're safe enough to open her heart to. So, what should you do? Be calm. Be observant. Don't rush to decode every move like a detective on caffeine. A man grounded in presence is far more attractive than one desperate for answers. Respond with curiosity, not anxiety. Compliment her, but let it be real. Don't flatter her beauty like every other man. Notice her mind. Say, I like the way you think, or that's a really thoughtful way to see it. That's how to fall in love, by seeing her depth, not just her surface. Remember, genuine attention is the most powerful signal in the language of attraction. If she continues to smile, maintain eye contact, or find reasons to linger near you, that's your cue. Don't hesitate. Say something simple and confident. Let's grab a coffee sometime. That's all it takes. Don't complicate what's already natural. When attraction is real, you don't need to perform. You just need to show up. Be steady, be warm, and be yourself. That's what captivates a loyal woman more than any fancy line ever could. But here's the secret, subtle flirting isn't about control, it's about connection. She's not trying to manipulate, she's trying to see if you feel what she feels. These quiet exchanges are the building blocks of emotional chemistry. A look here, a laugh there, these moments stitch two worlds together without force. That's the magic of female psychology and one of the most beautiful psychology tricks in love. So, don't chase. Attract. Don't overanalyze. Understand. Be the calm in her storm. Be the man who listens between the words, who notices the pause, who feels the meaning behind her smile. Because when a woman's interest comes wrapped in silence and sincerity, that's not a test, that's a treasure. Recognize it. Respect it. And if your instincts whisper that she's flirting because she cares, believe them. That's how you turn a spark into something lasting, how to fall in love not by chance, but by choice. 8. The attention to details. There's something magnetic about a woman who remembers the smallest things about you. Not the loud moments, not the flashy ones, but the quiet, almost invisible details, the way you take your coffee, the kind of pen you like, or that random story you told about your childhood dog. That's not coincidence. That's intention. When she recalls these fragments of your life, she's not just being polite, she's letting you occupy real estate in her mind. She's investing her emotional energy in you. And that, my friend, is one of the most undeniable signs a loyal woman secretly likes you. A woman's attention to detail is her subtle love language. While others may scroll past your words, she pauses, listens, and stores them away. Why? Because your presence means something to her. Don't mistake it for simple curiosity. This isn't about control. This is about connection. From a Stoic lens, this moment is more than attraction, it's energy alignment. She's not trying to manipulate or impress. She's choosing to understand. That's what happens when your masculine energy is calm, grounded, and consistent. You draw her in not with noise, but with quiet strength. Be aware, attraction doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. When a woman feels emotionally safe, she doesn't need grand gestures or confessions. Her affection becomes focused, deliberate, almost sacred. She'll recall the things that make you laugh, the topics that light up your eyes, and the opinions that define your character. That's her way of saying, I see you. A high-value man doesn't take that lightly. He doesn't inflate his ego because of it. He recognizes the depth behind it. He knows that her awareness mirrors his own stability. When you embody masculine energy, you invite a woman to feel safe enough to remember you, not out of obligation, but out of admiration. Think about it. The world is noisy. People forget things within seconds, but she remembers you. The tone of your voice, that offhand comment about your dreams, the way you prefer silence over small talk, she notices. She connects dots others don't even see. Don't ignore that. Don't laugh it off. That kind of awareness is not casual interest. It's quiet affection wearing the mask of subtlety. It's her way of saying, you matter enough for me to notice what others overlook. And when you see that, respond with grace. Be grounded. A man who seeks to attract women through authenticity, not performance, understands that this type of attention is rare. You must honor it, not exploit it. Because in the end, it's not about her remembering your favorite song. It's about her tuning into your frequency. And only a man who operates from purpose, who carries the confidence of a high-value man, can recognize that level of emotional investment for what it truly is, the beginning of trust. So next time she mentions something you forgot you said, don't underestimate it. That's not random. That's not friendly. That's devotion, whispered softly through the details. That's her saying, without ever saying it, you're seen, you're valued, you're remembered. 9. The shared energy shift. In a world addicted to noise, distractions, and endless scrolling, true attraction hides in silence, in that quiet current of energy between two people. You know it when you feel it. The air changes, time slows, and suddenly her presence feels like gravity. That's not coincidence. That's connection. When a loyal woman secretly likes you, she doesn't always speak it. She radiates it. Her energy bends toward yours. She slows her pace, softens her voice, and without even knowing it, her rhythm starts to mirror yours. Science calls it emotional attunement, when breathing, pulse, and even brainwave patterns begin to synchronize. But the Old Stoic wisdom calls it something else, harmony through awareness. It's not about chasing or proving. It's about being. Presence, as the Stoics taught, is the mark of an iron mind, calm, centered, unshaken. Don't rush it. Don't overthink it. Let the moment unfold. Because real connection, like Marcus Aurelius wrote, is not found by seeking, but by allowing. A Stoic man doesn't brag when he senses her alignment. He studies himself. He recognizes the shift not as validation, but as truth revealing itself. That's Stoicism win, mastery over impulse, dominance over ego. When she lingers longer in conversation, when her laughter feels deeper and her eyes stay just a second more, that's not performance. That's alignment. She feels seen, safe, heard. And the more grounded you remain, the more her energy mirrors yours. Old Stoic wisdom says, control yourself and you control the room. So don't be desperate for signs, become the sign. Be the calm she feels drawn to. Be the presence that steadies her storm. That's the iron mind at work, unshakable, disciplined, magnetic. In modern life, where attention is currency and everyone's energy is scattered, your quiet focus is irresistible. Don't let cheap distractions steal your composure. Don't mistake excitement for connection. Remember, true power doesn't chase, it attracts. When you notice her energy shifting, her presence softening, her tone harmonizing with yours, understand this. You've entered her emotional space. That's the sacred zone where words fail, but everything is said. That's where attraction becomes peace. You must honor that space. You must protect it with silence, with strength, with calm. That's Stoicism win, not in conquest, but in control. As Seneca once said, he who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. So let the moment breathe. Let it unfold. Don't ruin it with neediness. Don't shatter it with words. Simply exist in it, confident, composed, aware. That is what makes her feel safe. That is what earns her respect. That is what draws her closer. In that silent exchange, you'll know she's not just near you, she's with you. Not just watching you, she's attuned to you. That's the shared energy shift, the unspoken truth of loyal affection. When her presence settles into yours, when she feels calm without explanation, that's the mark of genuine attraction. So, men, remember, be still, be strong, be stoic. Let your iron mind guide you. Old Stoic wisdom isn't outdated. It's your armor in a noisy world. Win with presence. Win with peace. Win with stoicism. Because when energy aligns, words become unnecessary, and that's when you'll truly be felt. True attraction isn't about control or pursuit. It's about awareness. When you understand these subtle signs, the smile, the space, the touch, the mirroring, the presence, the energy, you stop guessing and start seeing. A stoic man doesn't chase validation. He observes, listens, and allows what's genuine to unfold naturally. He knows that the right connection doesn't require effort to exist, only clarity to recognize it. So stay calm, stay aware, be grounded in who you are. Because when your presence is peaceful and your mind steady, the right person won't just notice you, she'll gravitate toward you. Hey, if this message resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on it before you scroll away. Remember, real confidence isn't loud, it's calm. Take care of yourself, stay grounded, and trust that the right connection will meet you halfway. Until next time, stay sharp and stay true.